Jennifer Aniston says that a whole generation of people find Friends offensive today.
What?
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like they're upset at Friends because, well, one, because it showed New York City in the 90s at a time when it was actually really diverse, but there's no diversity in the actual show, or very little diversity in the actual show. And I thought this would be a Gen Z thing, but they're also saying millennials don't like it either.
I love Friends.
That's weird because a lot of people my age have adopted oh, I watch Friends. It's my favorite show. It's it's not really for you. Before you.
Well, who is it for?
I don't know.
I love Friends.
It's like an older show.
It is. I do think about that. It's sad seeing them all in this very luxurious apartment with regular jobs, and I'm like, that's
never gonna
impossible.
happen.
It's impossible. But I also like Seinfeld, and if they're coming for Friends, they're gonna come for Seinfeld next.
Television shows never ever show any.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I give up today, guys. It's one of those days. Television shows, that one maybe, I don't know. Television shows never ever show anything in New York City apartments like they actually look like. They all have these high vaulted ceilings. If you ever seen the show Power, Tommy lives in this apartment that's just massive.
Yeah.
That one makes sense because he's like a drug kingpin, so you could imagine him living there. But regular people do not live in these enormous apartments. I remember when Suits first came out, Mike Ross lives in this apartment. I'm like, the dude doesn't even have a job. How could he afford this apartment? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
In Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's the heart of New York City.
It does stink in that regard, but the show itself is fine. And I just worry, I don't know, what is Jennifer Aniston saying here? Is she just acknowledging that this is happening?
Yeah, this is a whole generation of people, kids, who are now going back to episodes of Friends and find them offensive. She said Friends aired from 94 to 2004, and they talk about its absence of diversity. And I don't remember if it was Chandler, but one of them came out and said that they should do a diverse reboot of it. And I'm like,
God.
See, there they go, talking once again, trying to just ruin it.
They've done that. It's called Girls.
There you go.
Which is actually a good show.
I didn't watch Girls. That's the one with Adam Driver, right?
Yeah, I like Adam. I found him that way.
Have you guys watched... is it Man with the Plan? Is that the show?
With what's his
LeBlanc?
name? Yeah, with Matt LeBlanc.
That I love because it captured that 90s sitcom wholesomeness where it's kind of cheesy, you know? And I really liked that show.
And I think Courtney Cox just got her star on the Walk of Fame fairly recently.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years.
Well, and just make a new show. It doesn't need to be Friends. Yeah. If you want to have a new show about young 20-year-olds that are lost in life, which is basically what this is, young 20-year-old, mid-20s.
Were they really
finding
20s?
themselves?
Supposed
to be early mid-20s.
From that generation when everybody grew up a little bit faster. Have you ever seen those videos?
Yeah.
It's like somebody filmed a video of their high school the day kids graduated with a huge stadium, and they all look 30.
Being recommended to me all the time for
They
some
all
reason.
look my age.
And it's just because the clothes they wore were more baggy.
It's
I'm like, no.
It's because they were probably smoking cigarettes and living harder.
No sunscreen.
And no sun. Well, I mean, I don't wear sunscreen.
I don't wear sunscreen either.
I don't wear sunscreen at all.
But even a little bit makes a difference.
Yeah.
And if you don't wear it at all, you're gonna age. Look at people that live in Florida and grow up in Florida. They look 50 by the time they're 30, 35.
My skin looks fantastic for somebody my age.
Yeah, but you grew up in Minnesota.
I haven't seen light in 2 years.
Well, yeah, because you're stuck in your office all the time.
I'm not stuck in
Carter's
there.
a
I just
vampire.
choose.
He's like, I'm there. He's like, I'm there, but I'm there on purpose.
There with a purpose. Oh.
So it says, Friends only introduced 2 recurring characters of color, both of whom were brought on as short-lived love interests for Ross. I also posted that meme the other day of Henry Cavill when he's in The Witcher, and then it's Ross with the leather pants, and it's like what I think what I think my voice sounds like. And everyone's like, what my voice actually sounds like. That's me, guys. When I go back and I edit this show, I actually cringe when I have to hear my own voice. So that's a tough thing to have to live with.
It is bizarre. It is hard, kind of editing your own stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like you can be overcritical.
So it says, there were things that were never intentional and others, well, we should have thought it through, but I don't think there was a sensitivity like there is now, said Aniston. Comedy has evolved. Movies have evolved. The Emmy-winning actress said, now it's a little bit tricky because you have to be very careful, which makes it really hard for comedians because the beauty of comedy is that we make fun of other people. We make fun of ourselves. We make fun of life. And that's the thing. What they don't realize now is you're not allowed to make fun of other people. You're only allowed to make fun of yourself. Otherwise, you're told to stay in your lane.
Yep. This kind of reminds me of my point earlier is that we have no real threats in life, so we have to find them. We have to make them up, right? You know,
I feel like we have some now.
that's why people are getting upset about Friends. But it's like also it's both sides, man, because Jennifer Aniston's beating herself up over how could she have known.
I don't think she's beating herself up, to be fair. I think she's just fine.
I'm saying she's just like, we should have known better. We could have spent more time.
How could you have?
Well, plus she didn't write it.
Well, that too, but she's taken, and of course this is a PR stunt. Of course, someone said you need to go out and talk about it.
She's got a movie coming out.
100%.
Murder Mystery 2.
So she's just pandering.
It's like most of a lot of the things that we cover is us being like, somebody says something, it's like, it's Paris Hilton. She goes, this happened to me. I'm like, well, what's she marketing? What's she advertising today? Does she have a new movie coming out? Does she have a book coming out?
Yep.
Does she have an album coming out from her fake DJing job? I still don't buy for a second that she actually DJs.
Did you guys watch the Friends, the reunion?
No,
I haven't. I never.
I don't think
watched
I've ever seen a single episode that I remember.
Really?
Because it just wasn't that great.
Joey saved the show plenty of times for me. He had some great one-liners, but it did get boring at times. But that's what I don't get about this. It was a low-stakes comedy show. They didn't take chances with their jokes, so I don't know why everyone's so upset.
There was I looked up. I was looking for what it is that they actually were upset about, and a little bit of it seems to be a little bit over the top. It says some millennials found LGBTQ plot points left them feeling uncomfortable. For example, Chandler was paranoid about being perceived as gay, or made mean-spirited jokes about his cross-dressing dad.
I was just gonna say they were pioneers.
Yes, a lot of people don't realize that that was actually like a comedy bit. Like Gay Panic was something that was very big in Hollywood at one point, because people in Hollywood are actually mean-spirited.
Well, the same show, there's a scene where I believe Rachel and Monica are like wrestling on the ground in their apartment because they're mad at each other, and Joey comes in not knowing what's going on. He's just like, nice. So it's like they took both sides of the argument here. They could not have been less controversial, in my opinion. Like this, that's why people don't like the show, because it's vanilla, it's bland, it's boring. They didn't take risks.
Rachel hires a nanny for her daughter Emma, but Emma's father Ross can't handle the fact that the nanny is a man. There's actually a comedian who does a bit that says like men and women aren't equal, and he basically says, he goes, if you're hiring a babysitter, you're hiring a woman. Don't tell me otherwise. Like, men and women are not created equal. He goes, it's not sexist. You're just being realistic that you're not going to take a chance hiring a male nanny for your kid.
Well,
most of the
there's
time.
all those jokes about like what dad does when he's alone with the kids, and you see them dressed up in ridiculous costumes, and he uses them as props,
doing
basically.
dangerous things.
Yeah.
Would that be you?
Oh, 100%.
Would that be you?
Yeah.
No, I find that I'm not like that as I get older. Like I have more and more sympathy for my mom after 25 years of skating. Like I get now where like the anxiety came in, her having to watch me try to do doing extremely dangerous things for 2 decades, seeing me come home from like skate sessions like covered in scrapes and bruises and broken bones and stuff like that. And then like, now that I see when I would see my nephews running too fast, when a kid runs so fast, their legs clearly can't keep up with their body. When I see that, and I'm like, don't hit something, please.
I instinctively say walk because of lifeguarding.
I think there's just something that clicks. I don't know what it is. I think it's different for everyone, where you start to value life. Truly. I think you can say when you're young, I value life, but it's something that you don't have until a certain point. I don't know what causes it. I think it's different for everyone, because I've found myself the last 2 years, things that didn't used to bother me, like videos where people getting hurt, are bothering me now, because I'm just like, oh my, that guy's probably got hospital bills now. That guy's probably going to have months of rehab. Like I know all that goes into it.
That doesn't bother me.
What?
I disassociate a lot of times. That stuff doesn't bother me. Not always. It depends. Like that's a case by case basis on things like that.
Yeah.
Especially if it was intention. Like if it's a video like that's done in jest or something like that, that's a little bit different. But case by case basis.
Did you watch Friends, the original?
No, I was more of a Seinfeld guy, and even then it was because my mom was a Seinfeld guy.
If they're coming for Friends, Seinfeld was far more raunchy.
Was it?
100% than Friends? Friends?
I think they're both dry.
Yeah.
Seinfeld. Well, that just goes to show. You think they're both dry. Friends is even less or more dry than Seinfeld,
Did you see
this is the result.
Jerry Seinfeld doesn't even use like bad words.
Yeah, but you rewatch Seinfeld.
He's
There's
in a
there's some
B-movie.
takes that people just like, there's some
Kramer
takes
with-
people are gonna get upset about.
Kramer with the people in the drawers in his
Dude.
apartment. Did you see the
Love that
chat?
show.
Did you see the chat GBT writing episodes of like fake episodes of Seinfeld?
Yeah, and they banned it though.
they
I think
banned it?
it was a live stream who then took those scripts and created like pixel art to
Yeah.
actually reenact.
But there
it.
was like there was like stuff that was mean to trans people in the
just
episodes
naturally
that,
created by the AI.
that the
Oh, really?
chat GBT wrote, so
Huh.
they had to ban it for a certain period of time. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.